Alright guys, today we have even more PlayStation news and rumors to go over and cover, and at the end of the video, we actually have an Xbox related rumor that we're going to be covering as well. I think you guys are going to be very interested in a lot of the topics we go over here today, so before we get into them, hit that like button to help the video out and show it your support. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you could help us get there sooner, and make sure you share the video out on top of that as well, so we can continue to grow this amazing community that we have established here. We're starting here though with a PlayStation insider teasing a jaw-dropping, quote, jaw-dropping PS5 game or games that will be coming soon. Now, this is something I definitely wanted to take some time to talk about because we just talked yesterday about the potential of a PlayStation event, a big showcase event that I think many of us are anticipating. We covered a leak that most of us deemed to be false, made up, not real, not legitimate, and I agree. I think that it's best we don't really take anything of significance from that, but this time around, we have an insider who seems to be letting us know that Sony is getting ready to do something very big. So it says here, a notable PlayStation insider has teased that Sony has some secretive PlayStation 5 games in the pipeline that should surprise fans. Not only will the games themselves potentially please many who are looking for more PS5 titles to play, but they should stand out as the next-gen experiences that many have been waiting for since purchasing Sony's new hardware when it released last year. During a recent stream on Fanbyte's media Twitch channel, Imran Khan, who is a well-regarded reporter and insider, was asked about when he thinks we might see some truly standout releases on the PS5. In response, Khan noted that he can't say, clearly because he's privy to some information that he's not at liberty to share. I can't answer that, but I'm just saying that might be closer than we think. There are games in the near future that look very, very, very good and like somewhat jaw-dropping, I would say. So that's exactly what Imran Khan had to say. The article continues by saying at this point in time, there's not a lot that we know about Sony's future plans with the PlayStation 5, outside of first-party titles such as Horizon Forbidden West, the upcoming Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and the sequel to God of War. Sony has been somewhat tight-lipped about what it has in store for the coming months. With that in mind, it's definitely encouraging to hear that we might get some new game reveals from PlayStation sooner rather than later. Now, I definitely wanted to take some time to cover this because Imran Khan is somebody who is considered reputable, right? And he's not revealing anything too substantial here. He's not dropping names of these games. He's not even saying that there will be an event for sure or giving us any type of time frame. That makes sense because if he does have some type of inside information regarding this stuff, it's in his best interest to not be that specific. But he's clearly letting us know that Sony has apparently some very, very good-looking games that he would call somewhat jaw-dropping that they plan to show sooner than we think. Now, when you think about the way he's phrasing this, the way he's talking about it, to me, it's very clear that Sony is going to have an event of some sort, and the games that they plan to show at this event are going to be big, right? People are already feeling like their jaw is on the floor. If Sony has something even more impressive, say God of War Ragnarok or other games we just don't know about yet, it's going to be a good time. So I don't want anybody to get overly excited about this, but it's hard not to when you hear things like this, right? Imran Khan is also the individual, for those wondering, who let us know, I think over a year ago, that Sony has some major third-party deals that they have struck with other publishers. And he was saying that people are going to be quite surprised throughout this generation to learn just how many deals Sony actually struck. And we're kind of seeing that come to light, right? We're seeing just how many big deals Sony has made for timed PlayStation exclusives or even full PlayStation exclusives. So I definitely believe what Imran Khan is saying here. I don't know why. I get this feeling that the game he's talking about here, one of the games anyway, that's really kind of sitting at the forefront of his mind is God of War Ragnarok. This would not be the first time we heard something similar to this in regards to the next God of War. So there you go. Apparently we're going to be getting some jaw-dropping game reveals in the not too distant future. very much excited for that. We're going to move on from that though and talk about something else that I think you guys are definitely going to be interested in. In fact, I know a lot of you are going to be very interested in this. We're talking about AMD's FidelityFX Super Resolution. This is something we covered a little while ago, earlier in the year, and we heard that it was going to release sometime this summer. Turns out we do have a release date, but we also have a developer letting us know how much of an impact this is actually going to have on the PlayStation 5 as well as the next-gen Xbox consoles. According to this developer, it's going to have a massive impact. So it says here, AMD has provided a release date of June 22nd for FidelityFX Super Resolution, its own version of Deep Learning Super Sampling, or DLSS. Unlike NVIDIA's version, however, it will offer multiple upscaling modes and even better performance, with the solution also coming to the Xbox Series X and S and PS5. How will it benefit developers for those consoles? So I just want to let you know, some people were wondering if this was going to be making its way to PlayStation 5. Yes, it is. There was seemingly some concern that PlayStation 5 was going to be left out and it wasn't going to be getting this benefit. It 100% is. But continuing on here, it says, according to Dead Drops Studios' Evan Walbach, hopefully I'm saying his name correctly, who developed the recently released Outbreak Endless Nightmares, Super Resolution will have a, quote, massive impact, unquote. That's because even on the current gen consoles, hitting the 4K resolution mark is still challenging. Targeting 4K as a native resolution is extremely demanding, even on this super high-end hardware. Having mechanisms to reconstruct the frame and make it look virtually identical to native 4K while paying a far lower cost in performance will be massive. With those savings, you can focus more on improving graphics quality, particle budgets, etc., and still reap almost all of the rewards that come with a native 4K image. It's really exciting technology, and I can't wait to use it. So some really big praise here coming from a developer. I'm not familiar with this game, Outbreak Endless Nightmares. I feel like I've seen it on the PlayStation Store. I think it's like a Resident Evil clone or something like that. Maybe you guys are more familiar with it. But either way, this is a developer, and it seems that they are very much excited for it, and they think it will ultimately have a massive impact. And what's very exciting about this, as I've explained before, is exactly what he said here. It's going to save on performance. It's going to allow developers to have much more room to expand on what they can do in other areas of the game without having to worry about native 4K resolution taking up all of this space and eating up all of these resources. This is something that is going to continue to play a vital role throughout this entire generation, where you want to see these games that look as crisp and as clean as they possibly can look, you know, seemingly at a native 4K resolution, but they're not actually native 4K. They may be running at native 1080p, but they're using this technology, and you literally cannot tell the difference. In some instances, it may even look better than native 4K, as crazy as that may sound. And so the developers are free to do all of this other stuff with their games, with the hardware that's on offer, without having to worry about, you know, native 4K, like I said, taking all of that up. So I just wanted to let you know not only that FidelityFX Super Resolution is, you know, available on PlayStation 5 for developers to use. We don't know when exactly they're going to start using it. I would assume it's going to happen soon now that it's officially released. But I also just wanted to let you know that we have a developer here saying it's going to have a massive impact. And that's good for both PlayStation and Xbox. I want to make that clear. It's not like this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive feature or anything like that. It's not. This technology is going to be available on everything. But in the end, if you are a PlayStation 5 owner, or you eventually do get a PS5, you're going to benefit from it. So there you go. We're going to close out this video, though, talking about a pretty interesting Xbox-related rumor. We are getting closer to Xbox's E3 event, which I do plan to stream and react to, and I think it'll be relatively exciting. I mean, it's E3. How could you not be excited? But we have some interesting information about a new Xbox exclusive AAA co-op open world IP. Definitely a mouthful here, but it's going to be really interesting to see if this game does end up getting revealed at their show. So it says Microsoft's massive first-party portfolio is definitely going to be one of the best weapons in their arsenal for years to come, but it's looking more and more like Xbox exclusives are going to come from others outside of the group as well. Reports of late have spoken about a major exclusive being developed by well-known and established third-party developers, from IO Interactive to Hideo Kojima, and it seems there's others still to look forward to as well, which might even be announced soon. Windows Central's Jez Corden has been teasing one Project Typhoon for some time now, and in a recently published article, he spoke about it a little bit more. According to Corden, the Xbox exclusive title is in development, and it's with a AAA third-party partner, and it will be an open-world co-op action game. Project Typhoon is allegedly quite far along in development and may be announced at Xbox's E3 show on June 13th, with a current target launch window of 2022. From Halo Infinite to Starfield, Forza Horizon 5 to Avowed, Omen to The Outer Worlds 2, and many more, reports have spoken about a number of games that might show up at the Xbox E3 presser, and even if a few of these reports turn out to be accurate, it's going to be a pretty packed showcase. So, I want to give, Xbox a little bit of the spotlight right now because, like I said, there's a lot of expectation and a lot of pressure on them to really deliver in a more significant way at this year's E3, and I'm definitely giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm assuming that they are going to have a pretty big and a pretty packed show, and I really do hope we find out shortly after that Sony is also going to have their own show, because I love to see these two titans clash and see what we end up getting from them. But this, could be a very big reveal that Xbox is saving for this E3 event. Project Typhoon sounds like it's a pretty big game. So I just wanted to let you guys know about this. I will be interested to see what you have to say about this title. We don't really have a ton of info on it. This is pretty much all we have, but it sounds like it's going to be a new IP, and it's interesting that it's coming from a third-party partner. So it's really anybody's guess who could be developing it. So yeah, there you go. That's pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. 3 very interesting topics that I figured you would want to know about. So at this point, I'm going to ask you to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.